Welcome everyone to yet another video from Rediscovering World. So we are continuing our road trip in Morocco and we have reached the famous town Ouarzazate. This is quite a popular town, especially among the people who love movies, especially the old movies of English. So this is the famous shooting location for a lot of Hollywood movies. So I welcome each and everyone to a special episode of Ouarzazate. So we reached around late afternoon, so we thought of having some food before hanging around the city. So we jumped into the hotel, which is quite near to the main Kasbah, which we called as Sabrine restaurant. So we had a good tagine food there. So after that, now we are just moving towards the main attraction, that's a Kasbah. I have taken some videos of the food, but I think it's quite mixed up and I have lost that video. So probably I would put up as a shorts if I come across that video again. So I'll briefly explain to you about the importance of Ouarzazate. So Ouarzazate been serving as a trading center for sub-Saharan and Moroccan trade due to its location south of the Atlas Mountains and northwest of the Drâa Valley and west of the Dates Valley. During the French Protectorate, the population grew and the town became an administrative center. And the most important thing is the Morocco's international film industry is now centered in Ouarzazate with several movie studios. I think most part of the area have been a part of most of the Hollywood movies. So we'll just go and explore the Kasbah first. I think the main part of the Kasbah was closed for some sort of a renovation work. So we were able to see the Kasbah nearby and the houses which has been located near to it. So we got a guide who could help us to go through all this and show us the important stuff in the Kasbah. So here we are. It's in the 17th century and Amazigh leader built the Taourirt Kasbah and Mellah, and in 1954 about 170 Jews lived in this Mellah. Now we are just moving across the Medina. So on your right side you can see this is one of the museum of folklore, like a museum of folklore history. So that's on the right side. Apparently it's closed, and on your front on the black door is a hotel. So it's quite a big and famous hotel in this Medina. So I think the guide was describing the owner is from Riyadh, and you can see on the top of it there is a bridge between the hotel. The name of the hotel is Darul Qamar, and he was saying that he spent about 3 million, I think it's 3 million dinar, I don't know, for renovation of this hotel. So the entrance, there is an entrance to the restaurant on the right side. He made a rooftop at the top of this restaurant. I think if you can play a little bit slower, you can see the bridge above that, so that the tourists can move across this restaurant and hotel. So yeah, it's quite a good construction which he has made at that time. So it's quite an old one. He put up a lot of money for its renovation. So now we are walking through the alleys of this Medina. You can see the old houses on your right side and your left side. Our guide lives here. He lives with his family and his children. So I think it's one of the good places to stroll around. So the Medina is one of the places in Ouarzazate which you should not miss of. So it's like, especially the Kasbah, it's like a fortified house of Berber's origin, mainly made up of adobe. So now you can see on the left side is an old mosque. It's built a long time ago, but it's been renovated like recurrently due to the earthquakes. So it has high walls and one served to protect the town from attacks and also from the, we can say, the inclemency of the weather. So the site is located in the center of the city. You can see this Kasbah is in the center of the city of Ouarzazate and is been considered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a fortified town that began to build at the end of the 18th century, but it was not until the 20th century that part of its present structure was erected. So you can see the wooden stuff, and you can see most of the things have been made up of mud type stuff. So it's like a brownish tinge of color you can see across the Medina. So I think there is a lot of people lives inside still. As a visitor, you'll be definitely impressed by the enormous mass and its beautiful ornamentation. It looked like a big sand castle in the desert. The Kasbah of Taourirt served as a palace for the Pasha of Marrakesh, who rebelled against King Mohammed V when Morocco was under French protectorate. Taourirt is the name of the village where the Kasbah was built. So the village was found in 12th century, still has a Medina that can be visited at any time, but for visiting the Kasbah you need to pay some amount of euros or dollars to enter there. Apparently it's been closed for renovation. The guide was showing us various restaurants and hotels which were currently not active in the Medina. So the Ouarzazate is known for the Kasbah of Taourirt and Kasbah of Aït Benhaddou, both of which has been declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. This city has been made famous for its studios of cinema in the desert, like Studio Atlas Studios. I think we'll be doing another episode with that. So this you can see is a typical spice and argan oil shop. I think most of the spices are coming from Morocco and like from Asian countries. That's what they are explaining to us. So if you guys are interested, you can even have a purchase of argan oil, which is quite famous over here. So when we stroll across this Medina, I was thinking about the life of the people who lived here many years back and currently. So from the facilities we have, when we compare it with the current life of the people who lives here, I feel like they have been in a lot of difficulties. So we come across a place, it's a place of gatherings. The guide mentioned to us it's a place where most of the engagements, marriage occurs. Normally, according to the Berber culture, it's a 3 days program. One will be hoisted by the women's family, one by the family of men, and the one day will be hoisted by both the families. So now we come into a place where the old synagogue was present. So currently the synagogue was closed and now it's been used as a museum, like it's keeping all those old stuff, but it's not actually a synagogue at the moment. But you can see a lot of stuff and items which has been used by the Jewish people when they lived here for a long time. So the old synagogue dates back over 400 years. It's located in the heart of this Medina or Mela. It's been recognized by the Hebrew symbol, that you can see the Hebrew symbol. I think it's been there everywhere. And the entrance is the small door. When you enter through that, it leads to the inner area where you can see a lot of stuff which has been displayed everywhere. And you can see like a lot of secret items which are being used by the Jewish people. And it's like a double floored house. You can walk across and to the top. Even there you can see a lot of utensils. You can see a lot of like the lamp and the dresses, spoons, pots. I think everything is quite available and it's quite displayed over there, and it's free of charge. You can just have a visit and it definitely take you back to the history. So previously this building was composed of a study classroom and small other rooms. They are spread throughout many levels. After this closure of worship, they have been transformed into exhibition rooms, and each of which illustrates a day in the life of a Mazga Jewish family. So the old synagogue has been beautifully preserved due to the excellent work of the family that looks after it, and allows all those who want to explore this cultural and religious symbol full of historical testimonies to do so. So I think it's quite worth visiting there and have a look around and see what all the things have been displayed there. And we definitely recommend to visit the synagogue. The one thing I especially noticed was the Berber village dominated by the Kasbah is on one side of the river, while the Jewish village of craftsmen and shopkeepers is on the other side. So I think it's quite a good thing to have a walk around to see the wall of Medina, and you can pass through the old townhouses made up of earth, straw and lime as you walk down from the village to the oasis. And you can see a lot of shop, even small bazaars. That's quite worth a visit. Now on the right side you can see a lot of pictures being painted and being displayed. It's quite expensive, but it's not a good season now. If you bargain, they could give it for a cheaper rate. So we are not interested in buying the paintings and stuff, so we did not had a chance to buy anything. But definitely who are interested in paintings, it's worth a try. So currently the Kasbah and Medina is undergoing a lot of restoration and enhancement work, and these works are carried out by the qualified and experienced local workforce. So most of the houses and the hotels have been closed currently, but definitely there are a lot of things you can explore through the Medina, and you can definitely visit the synagogue to have a greater idea about the history of Kasbah. So actually we are finishing the guided tour right here. The guide mentioned to us that he has taken us through most of the Medina, and we have paid some amount of money for him. As a He doesn't tell about the money, but as a token of gratitude we had given him some money, and we now come across a crafts and souvenir shop which is close to the Kasbah. So here you can see a lot of stuff which has been mainly made up of wool and what we can say is mud. The plates, you can see the tagine, the tagine dish plates, and there are a lot of stuff you can see. You can buy it and give to your friends or relatives. So we bought 2 souvenirs from there, so it's quite cheap, and I thought of having one from them. So whenever you visit Ouarzazate, I think it's just 1 kilometer from the main city, and it's quite equivalent to a giant sand castle. So I think it's worth a visit to the Kasbah. I think within 1 year the Kasbah will be reopened, and you can just walk through the alleys, and you can shop the stuff through your various bazaars inside. And it's true a architectural gem of Berber culture, so it's worth a visiting. So we now just walked out from the Kasbah. So in front of us we can see a lot of people who have been moving to the national studios there. It's quite a quite a common and quite a popular stuff, national studios. I think by the time we reached there, it was getting near to a closing time, so we thought of visiting it in some other time. So we can see a lot of tourists being gathered there, and we can see a local people's playing some music and enjoying their time. And I would really loved being in Ouarzazate and visiting the Kasbah, learning and walking through the history and seeing the old synagogue. It's quite a worth visiting one. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and we tried to bring back new and good stuff into your visual fields, and kindly share our channel and subscribe it. So we'll see you in next week with some good videos from Tunisia or some other part of the world. Until then, it's me, Abil, and Hannah signing off. Take care. Bye.